Hello, welcome to Biology 102. My name is Catherine Creech. I'm going to be your biology instructor. I want to introduce the class, introduce myself, make sure that you saw my face, and give you a rundown of how to use Blackboard and how to use our textbook. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you how to navigate those two sites. All right, so hopefully you can see my screen now. That is our class Blackboard site. And I'm going to put a little spotlight on my mouse so that you can see it. So there it is. All right. So this is what our Blackboard looks like. You can get to it from the My MHCC website, or you could just Google Mount Hood Community College Blackboard and it'll get you there. Use the login that was given to you when you registered. And then once you get in, you'll get to our class. There's a couple things I want to show you here. So this navigation bar on the left is super useful. I use it all the time, except sometimes it hides. So you have to make it pop back out when you want it. And sometimes it just disappears. So that's my first tip, is make sure that you can find the navigation bar, because otherwise you'll be missing a lot of the material. Then when you start, you'll go to the home page. This is where you're going to find all of our lessons. The first thing you'll do is watch the introduction video, which is what I'm recording right now. So good job for finding it. Then you will do the syllabus section. The syllabus section must be completed first because it sets the expectation. It also tells you what kind of assignments are going on, when they're due, how many times you get to take the quizzes, what your points are based on, what the late policy is, how to get in contact with me. All the really important information is in the syllabus. You can definitely email me anytime. My email is catherine.creech@mhcc.edu. I love emails. Please email me. So you'll start in the syllabus section. Then once you're inside of a folder, so lesson page is full of folders, there's 3 ways to navigate around inside. First, you can click on these individual items. So syllabus here, you can click on schedule and it will go to schedule. So that's one way. Another way is there is a little tab bar here, so you can click 1 of 5. So if I click there, it'll go to the next one. And the third is over here on the right. It says page 2 of 5. So you know how many you have to do. You can click there and it will go to the next one. For any quizzes, you'll get an intro page that looks like this. And then you have to say click to launch. So click that blue button. And then you have to read the intro, make sure you know the plan, and then you hit begin. And once you begin, that's when you'll actually see the questions. So here's question 1, question 2. You'll go all the way through selecting what you want and then save and submit. And it makes you say, are you sure? And so you say, okay. So there's lots of okay clicking every time you have a quiz, and you're going to have several quizzes per week. So just as a heads up, sometimes it can be really hard to navigate on your phone. So I do recommend using a computer if possible. So look, it scored me so poorly because I didn't answer any of the questions. So I totally got a 0 on that assignment. That's okay, because you can take it more than once. If you want information about what assignments can be taken more than once, all of that is in the syllabus. So that's why the syllabus is so important to read as soon as you log into class, so you know what's expected of you. So syllabus section, you've got 5 things to do there: syllabus schedule, a syllabus quiz, more information about you for me so we can get to know each other and I can support you in your learning, and then your introduction to the class. When you want to do your introduction to the class, you can click this button, or you can click on the discussions. So that's another thing that's really cool in this tab here is homepage, syllabus section, and then discussions. All of our discussions will be in one location here. So the first week introductions, you can find that there. There's 1 post so far and it's mine, but by the time you start writing in there, hopefully there'll be other students posting so you could all get to know each other and we can create a learning environment that's nice and supportive. So that's the first set of information. I do want to show you what the resources look like for this class. So we have a resource folder. Here you're going to find a link to the textbook. We'll talk about that in a second. But you're also going to get information about citing your sources, because in science we have to cite our sources, where you can find online tutoring, what you're going to be doing for your project, and then the options for your final exam or for your final project. So you get to choose whether or not you want to take an exam. All that information is in this folder, so that's really useful. And then each week you'll get a folder pop up like this with a topic. So the first week our material is on the structure of DNA. So this is their first set. Next week will be another one that says week 2, and then week 3, and then week 4, all the way through the whole term. So those will pop up as I'm ready to release them. So you'll click on this. These are the assignments that are due Wednesdays and Sundays. So in here, you have a whole lot going on, but I always want you to start on the activities page. Please read the activities page, especially the first week, because this sets up what kind of materials you're going to be working with, why you're doing them. I connect each thing that you're doing to the course outcomes. So there's a justification for why I'm asking you to do these activities. And then you have links to the different materials that you'll be using in here. So I do want you to click on these hyperlinks. There won't be URLs for them. So you need to be using something, your phone or computer or a tablet, whatever, where you can click on the page and interact with it. So make sure that you're looking for those links. And then once you go through and read the expectation, you have your homework, which is based on textbook readings. You have the labs. There's a lot of information in the labs. It's broken down into pieces to make it more manageable. Then you have 2 posts this week, a connection post and a develop opinions post. Both of those are connected to the course outcomes. And then at the end of every week, you have a cumulative set of quiz questions and 1 written question. You can find those right here. Again, you can click on any of these or use this navigation bar or use this navigation bar. So 3 ways to work through it. I want to show you in the lab. So we click into this lab folder. There's some reading, really cool. Then we go to part 2. Part 2 is going to have you launching a quiz, and it's about the process of science, which is part of your textbook, which I'll show you in a second. But we're going to launch this quiz, click begin. And then sometimes in your questions, you'll have embedded videos. So as you go through, there will still be work to do inside of the quizzes and the homework in the lab. I can't separate all the information because I want to come sequentially. So I want you to go through each week and do it in order so that you get the information as you go. So if you start one of these quizzes and you can't see this or you can't find the hyperlink, sometimes I'll have a hyperlink in them. I do recommend that you use a computer or a laptop. Maybe go to our library. Our library is rad, but sometimes the interface won't be as great on a phone. I mean, your phone is amazing. Use your phone all you want, but know that there is embedded material in the quizzes that I do want you to access. So fabulous. We can save and submit that. It's going to tell me I didn't answer any questions. That's okay. And now let's talk about the textbook. Your textbook can be linked to right here. It's also linked to in your course resource folder. So this is another reason why it's super useful to make sure that you can pop this back out. I'm going to open this in a new tab. Here's our textbook. Lovely. You can download it, but there are digital aspects of the textbook that don't transfer well to a PDF. And sometimes the formatting gets wonky. So I do recommend you use it online. It is designed to be used online. So click this, you can read online. It takes you right to the first page, which is great. But then it looks like there's nothing there. And so to navigate through your textbook, you can do it 2 ways. The long and tedious way is hitting this bar on the bottom. That takes you to the next page, the next page, the next page, which is great. But what if you want to start in chapter 5? Then you have to go over here to contents. So the first thing you want to do is find the chapter we're going to be working on. I believe structured DNA is your first chapter. So you click there and it takes you to the first page. Now you can navigate to the next using that bar. Or what I like to do is whenever I find the section I'm going to be reading, I click the little plus and that shows me how many subsections there are. So I like to plan ahead for how much I have to read. So the structured DNA has 3 sections, totally nice. What about the next one? The next one has, what is that, 7, 8? A bunch more sections. So I would click on this ahead of time and know that I have to devote more time to this chapter than I do to this chapter, just based on how many sections there are. So when you read this, you can click through the navigation bar on the bottom, or you can click the individual sections, and that's a good way to navigate through. So 2 ways to do that as well. If we go back to our class Blackboard site, back to our homepage, so we know where we are, there's a couple other things I want to show you. Our communication is here. I have my messages and announcements. The my messages doesn't send you an alert when you get messages, neither do the announcements. So I really prefer that you email me directly. email me at catherine.creech@mhcc.edu. It'll go right to my phone, and then I can check it even if I'm out in the woods, which I will be a lot this summer. So please email me directly so it goes somewhere where I get a notification, and then I can email you back pretty quickly. I will try and get back to you definitely within 24 hours. And if I'm going to be away from self-service for longer than 2 days or so, I will put up a out of office reply so you know. I do love to go camping, so I will probably be periodically out of service for a couple of days, but I'm generally really great on email, and I usually go into self-service at least once a day or so. So I would love your emails. Please email me. I often will email you back like in a few minutes because I like technology, right? So email me, please do. But if you email me through Blackboard and this My Message app, it doesn't tell me that I have a message, and it has to wait until I get to my computer and log in. And so it will take longer for me to reply. That's why I prefer you email me directly. The next thing is the My Progress. We have the calendar due dates. This is so helpful. What it's showing you is the end of last term, and this looks like a whole lot, right? But this is for another class, and that's for more than one class. So here are the due dates and what is due, so you can always click on them. Ours is going to be starting later, but it hasn't opened up yet, and so you can't see the due dates yet until this class starts. But our first assignments will be due on the 26th and the 30th. So those will populate there, and it will look like this. Another thing that's really useful is the My Grades. So here are My Grades. It shows you all of the assignments for the whole term. It tells you the due date, which is cool. It has them classified into what kind of assignment they are. And then it has your grades here. So I submitted that syllabus quiz. I didn't answer any questions. I got a 0 out of 5. If I, as the teacher, had responded to one of your questions in the assignment, this would be blue, and I could click on it, and then I could see the teacher feedback. So sometimes if I need to like tell you that there's a misconception or be like, oh, this was so close, but it's actually this, I will write responses to your answers, and going into the My Grades and clicking on the number itself when it's blue is the way that you see it. So I will give you feedback. Please do look for it here. And then you can follow along, make sure that you know how you're doing in the course. So none of your points should be a surprise to you because they're going to be all right here for you. And then really useful, the last section I want to show you is student support. We have online learning help, which takes us to the tech support website. A bunch of really great information there. You can get directed to what kind of questions you have. This is really useful. Login problems, Kaltura issues. Kaltura is where we post our videos. So you're watching a Kaltura video right now. And then e-tutoring, amazing. All about tutoring for students. Wonderful stuff. And then our library. Our library has great resources. So a link right to our library. If you need any other support during the term, please email me. But our syllabus also has a whole lot of information for you. So there's class information, that's great, due dates, late stuff, wonderful. But then we get right down here, there's information about tech support, there's information about academic support, registration advising, community support, so you can be getting financial services, social services. Our counseling team is amazing at Mount Hood. Whatever you need, student rights and safety, all of this is here for you, and I am happy to support you in any way that I can. So I think that is everything you need for our class. The long and short of it is, please start with the syllabus section after watching this video. So you're going to start there, and then make sure that every week when you do our lesson folder, you read the activity page so you get an overview of what's coming. I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day, and email me. I would love to talk to you, and have a good one. I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.